Welcome you all back for this class. So we have started physical optics chapter, and during this chapter we have discussed the first problem, that is the soap bubble looks black when it bursts white. So after discussing this topic, we are heading towards another topic, that is the question is, what is the difference between interference and reflection? So these are some of the differences. Here is the one. So the interference is defined as a phenomenon of superposition of two coherent waves which are along the same direction. Diffraction is defined as a phenomenon of bending of light around edges or openings, obstacle placed in its path. It is the result of superposition of only a few secondary wavefront originating from the same source. So the results of superposition of a very large number of secondary wavelets coming from different parts of the same wavefront. So interference fringes are equally spaced. This is another important point for interference. So diffraction, the fringes are not equally spaced. So which we have done during Young's double slit experiment. We have seen that spacing, we have calculated the spacing between dark to dark and bright to bright, and we see that the spacing in each case was the same. So this was the important aspect of interference. Fringes are always having the same separation of the space. So in diffraction, the fringes are not equally spaced. Interference fringes may be of the same width, are not of the same width, that is wider than the obstacle, and because narrow towards the narrow region. So this is the difference. They are not having the equal width. They are sometimes narrow, sometimes they are wider. So the fifth is, all bright fringes are uniform intensity. Intensity of the bright fringes is always uniform. Bright fringes are not same intensity. So this is the difference. They are of the same intensity in case of interference, but in case of reflection, the intensity is not same. The points of minimum velocity perfectly are perfectly dark. The points of minimum intensity are perfectly dark, and these are the points where the intensity of the uh, interference intensity is minimum. So it is also linked with the destructive type of interference. But in case of diffraction, for the points of minimum intensity are basically linked to the diffraction effect, are linked with the destructive type of interference. The points of the minimum intensity are not perfectly dark. So this is another important point related to diffraction. This one is interference, this is diffraction. We have discussed the number of points fringe spacing is equal, it's not equal. Interference fringes may be of the same width, here it's not important, width changes from situation to situation. The bright fringes of the uniform intensity, but here bright fringes are not of the uniform intensity. Thank you very much for your attention, for your interest.